Welcome back to A World of Difference. Today, we've got an absolute powerhouse in the house, someone who's all about leading with heart, building trust, and making a real impact. Meet Karen Hall, aka the Queen of Empathy. She's a mom, a wife, a grandma, and a woman of faith who's been changing the game as an executive producer, host, and speaker with the Los Angeles Tribune. But that's not all. She's a podcast host of multiple podcasts. And Karen is also an emotional intelligence leadership coach, helping leaders level up by strengthening relationships and building trust through emotional intelligence. If you're ready to stop playing small and start leading with more authenticity, compassion, and confidence, then this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Karen, hi. We're with the difference makers in our Patreon community now, and here we like to go a little bit deeper with our guests. We have people all around the world doing really amazing things, just bringing goodness and kindness wherever they go, and people are often dealing with toxic bullies in the workplace, wherever they are doing great work, like they might be working in a nonprofit and they just lost their job because USAID has pulled funding. They might be a federal worker here in the United States. They might work with the CIA and they just had a whole big, bunch of people fired there. So whatever people are doing and wherever they are around the world right now, what are some messages of encouragement you could give them when maybe they're in a career pivot, maybe they didn't want to be, or maybe life just feels overwhelming right now? What is some words of encouragement you can give them based on your journey as a leader?
We hear the saying, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Well, when you're in that situation and things have fallen apart, it feels like it's happening to you.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's really important to have empathy for ourselves when we feel fear, when we feel trauma, because that can bring up past trauma that's not even related, but the fear of rejection or the fear of abandonment, those fears can come into play when we're dealing with some other kind of stress in our life. So it's very important that we have empathy for ourselves first to help us calm our nervous system so that we can think about it differently. If I am consumed with fear, whatever that fear is, or an escalated emotion, my brain starts to shut down and I start to feel smaller, especially in perspective. But if I can change that narrative and say, okay, what could I learn from this situation? Or one of my favorite things to say is, I wonder what miracle I'm going to see from this. All of a sudden, my brain opens and what are the possibilities? Maybe I will make a career pivot into something that I love even more than what I have done before. And how could I do that? Maybe I need to go back to school. Maybe I network with more people and say, I have these additional skills. I would love to use my leadership in this and that way. So I think it's important that we have that open mindset because that helps us to see possibilities instead of seeing things from a closed environment.
I love that. Some people feel like they have to only focus on one emotion at a time or one frame of mind. But in times like that, especially having had, moments where I lost a job that I didn't expect to, and we're seeing a lot of layoffs in Silicon Valley right now, in addition to everything happening in the government and national parks and all the things. But it can be really hard to say, I need to grieve this. Mm-hmm. I'm in trauma. I did not expect this. They say losing a job can be one of the most difficult things a person goes through in life. Yes. And like you said, it can re-trigger past traumas. And holding that in one hand with all the grief that's going to take a while, and caring for your body and caring for yourself and have that self-compassion, and also having this vision for what could be, and that curiosity and that openness and joy and hope. It can be hard to hold both because it seems like a lot all by itself, just one. But I've experienced that, how it can, more than one thing can be true. And we can have all the feels at the same time. And so I love this about your leadership, that you're asking people to be emotionally intelligent for themselves first as they show up in a different way. So thank you for that. Those words of wisdom from your experience for this community. I really appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you so much for being here with our difference makers today.
Thank you, Lori. I'm so grateful to be here on A World of Difference with all your difference makers.
Wow, what a conversation. Isn't she just the best? I mean, when I met her, we had such a connection in LA. And Karen Hall, she just gave us a masterclass in dealing and leading with empathy. And if you think there's one thing that you want to take away from today, Let's let it be this. Listen first to understand. That Stephen Covey's principle that she talked about. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Not to respond, not to fix it, but to truly hear the people around you. This is how trust is built. This is how real leadership happens. And let's talk about the raw truth that Karen shared, being bullied by toxic bosses, more than one, standing up for herself, taking legal action. It's no small thing, is it? It's terrifying. It's exhausting. It wrecks you. And it's something too many people go through in silence. But Karen did not stay silent. Brava to you, Karen. And she turned her pain into power. And now she's helping others to do the same. That's what real courage looks like. No wonder she loves Queen Esther. No wonder that inspires her, because she's following in the footsteps of somebody who did the right thing at the right time, the hard thing, stood up, spoke truth to power, even her own bully, to try to be empathetic and patch things up. That is real leadership. And once again, disclaimer, if you're in a situation with a narcissist, rules don't apply. Please care for yourself, seek safety, seek refuge, and if all possible, come up with an escape plan. Help people help you. She obviously held people standing up for her and helping her, and so the circumstances were different. But if you find yourself in a situation where you're not psychologically safe, please gather support around you for people who will believe you, that know you and love you and care for you. Build a tribe around yourself if you don't have one, and make an escape plan to get out, because you don't need to be in an environment where you're constantly broken down on a daily basis. It will affect you in every possible way, with your health and your mental health and your physical health and your spiritual and relational health and financial health. All of it will be affected. And I know that may be hard to hear right now, but from my own lived experience and from the experiences of many, many stories of others, I hope that you find a way to get to safety and come up with an escape plan. But here's your challenge. As you're out there in the world in all kinds of situations, whether you're starting something as an entrepreneur, whether you're in a career pivot, whether you're an individual contributor in your company and you're wanting to grow in your leadership, here's your challenge. Start listening. Start showing up with empathy. And if you're in a toxic situation, know this: you are not alone. You have options. You're not stuck, and you are stronger than you think. If this episode hit home for you, please share it with 5 people who need to hear it. Think of those in your life that are dealing with something. They're feeling stuck. Maybe they're dealing with a toxic boss. Maybe somebody who needs to learn a little empathy and learn to listen more. Maybe somebody who also loves Queen Esther. Maybe somebody who lives in the LA area. Think of all the people in your life that this episode could make a difference for, because Karen Hall is the kind of person that is an authentic leader. She's out there trying to do her best to listen well and be an empathetic leader in all of her spheres. And so I want her voice to be able to make a difference in the lives of those that you also care about, your loved ones, your family, your friends. So think of 5 people, send this episode to them. And as always, keep making a difference. You've got this, and I will see you in the next episode.